Welcome back. Democrats in the district trying to chart the best path forward to retake Congress in November.
And joining us now is political commentator and Democratic strategist Jamie Jackson. Thank you so much for sticking around and chatting with us. You were a senior counsel to Maryland's Congressman Steny Hoyer, the long-time statesman. This is a whole different Congress at this point.
It certainly is. And we're talking at the top of the ticket, the mayoral race. Jeannie Lewis George, of course, council member, and former council member Kennedy McDuffie. President Trump, once again, is getting involved in D.C. politics. Of course, he did with Mayor Muriel Bowser. If either is elected, how do they navigate that course with the president who, with Jeannie Lewis George, he said just recently, if she's elected, he will try to come back and take over federally, D.C.?
Yeah, well, I think the stakes are higher now. You know, the president is in the middle of his second term. He's not running for re-election. I think his rhetoric has increased. And I think D.C. residents have become increasingly more interested in what's happening with the autonomy of the city, especially as the president has increased the presence of the National Guard, law enforcement, ICE, has cut into the D.C. budget, and has also worked with Republicans in Congress to kind of roll back some of the autonomy that the city has. And so I think the stakes are higher this time. And both candidates have really made an effort to put home rule and D.C. autonomy at the forefront of their campaigns, but I do just think that they have slightly different approaches about going about it.
This is a very interesting dynamic because you have the D.C. delegate who should be like a ranking member but non-voting, and then you have the mayoral race, which will essentially elect a governor for D.C. with the powers that are linked to that. What is the prescription here, though? Because you have people who live in the district who want more to be done. They want their tax dollars to be spent the way they voted for. But there's only so much that a mayor or a D.C. delegate can do up against the president and a Republican-controlled Congress.
Well, what I want viewers to understand is that while the delegate does not have voting power on the floor, they still have a lot of influence in how they can protect D.C. They get voting in committee, they can introduce legislation, they can work with congressional leadership to do what's best for the interests of D.C. And so again, I mentioned previously, Eleanor Holmes Norton has been an incredible advocate, and whoever is successful in the delegate race is really going to have big shoes to fill to continue that advocacy on behalf of the district.
Yeah, it's a heavy lift.
It certainly is. All right, Jamie Jackson, political commentator and Democratic strategist. I really appreciate your insight and expertise. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.